Welcome everybody then to the 2024 S class. Oh wait, sorry. Welcome everybody then to the C class. Wait, that's not right either. Oh right, my bad. I'm so sorry. I'm just fooling around. I know, of course. This is the 2025 Mercedes Benz E450. This is the executive sedan of the Mercedes Benz sedan lineup, and it has been heavily updated for the 2025 model year. Let's see how this luxury sedan is. So, the 2025 Mercedes Benz E-Class, what is it? Well, it has been heavily revised for 2025, and now the chassis code is called W214. I know 124 generation is one of my most favorite E-Classes, but this is the 214. Is it as good as that? Well, there's only one way to find out. When you come to the design of the latest E-Class, it has been heavily revised for 2024. So you have a new headlight design which has the twin LED units inside. That shows that it is the E-Class. The C-Class has 1 unit and the S-Class has 3 units. That's one way to distinguish these cars at night. The grille has also been enlarged. It has an LED unit inside, so it has a surround around the grille, which is noticeable at night. It also has lots of star patterns on the grille, and yes, this is an E-Class, so it has to be chrome, right? Mercedes cars are full of chrome. There's tons of chrome on the grille, bottom part of the bumper. Yes, you can get a dark pack, which again smokes it all out. But I think for a luxury executive car, especially with this spec, the chrome works really well, personally for me. So I wouldn't change that. You've got some cuts and creases and some fake vent business on the bumper, but overall I think it's a very handsome looking front end. You do have some bulges on the bonnet as well to signify how much power it has, and this, yes, has the 3-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder, but again, more on that later. When you come to the side is when you notice that this has the proper traditional 3-box sedan look, which I personally am a huge fan of. I love the way this looks from the side. There are some cuts and creases on the side profile, and overall it's a very handsome proportional side profile. What enhances the looks are these optional 21-inch wheels, which again are just fabulous. I think they uplift the whole look of the side and the whole look of the whole vehicle, actually, to be honest. And it's an option, but if I were to buy this car, it's an option that I would definitely take, no matter how expensive it would be. The chrome carries on to the side, so there is chrome on the door handles, which again are sitting flush with the car, but when you walk up to it, the handles pop out. There are chrome around the window lining as well. And again, as I said, I like this kind of chrome. I'm not usually a big fan of chrome, but this chrome on this car just works. The length is also very much visible on the side profile, and you can tell this is a very big car. In fact, I would say it's almost as big as old S-classes, which is again a tall claim because the S-class has been the largest sedan they offer, but I feel like the E is almost as big as maybe a generation or two older S-classes. Shows how big cars have started to become in today's age. When you come to the rear of the updated E-Class, I think it's a very stylish looking rear. In fact, from the C-pillar onwards, I think it has a heavy resemblance to the S-Class. That's kind of why I mentioned the S-Class in the intro. I know it looked funny, but from the C-pillar onwards, I really think it looks like an S-Class, which is no bad thing because the S-Class is one of the best looking sedans on the market today. What's updated for 2025 are these taillights. So you do have this star pattern on the taillights. Again, 3 units. This is updated for 2025, and I think it looks very good. It looks especially sharp at night. You do have a chrome strip on the rear because, as I said, chrome works well with luxury executive sedans, and it's a Mercedes, so they do boring stuff. You do have badging E450 4Matic, everything just simple, clean stuff. You do have fake exhaust cutouts on the bottom, so this is fake. I don't know why Mercedes has been doing this for the last few years, and I really wish one day they would come around and actually put an exhaust pipe through the vents. You do have a very big boot as well, which you can open through the key. You can open through the kick, the step, the kick movement. You have to dance under the car, or there's also a physical button where you can open the tailgate. And once the boot is open, you'll notice that it's actually very big. It can take in a lot of luggage very easily. And if you need more, you can still electronically fold the rear seats with a 60-40 split to put in longer stuff, which makes it immensely practical and very cool. As I said, the E-Class has always been the middle segment luxury car of this Mercedes lineup, and this new one has been updated here and there to make it that much more relevant, that much more cooler, and that much more appealing to the younger buyer. I'm now inside the 2025 Mercedes Benz E450. As you can see, it's a lovely place to be. It's got the optional super screen, as Mercedes calls it out. It used to be called the hyper screen, which is this huge screen which was only available weirdly on the EQ electric cars, but now it has been transferred onto the regular gas powered cars as well. And the touch response, the resolution, the overall feel of the screen is top notch. It's an optional extra, but it's an option that I might just stick most times of the year because I really like the fit of the finish, the screen, everything. It really uplifts the ambience. With this, you also get a bonus screen for the passenger, and it has some amenities. You can change the massage option, you can change track, but if you are using CarPlay, then you can't do anything media change with the second screen. If you're using the inbuilt Bluetooth, that's when you can do it. But who uses that anymore? I think nowadays almost everyone is using CarPlay, so that makes that screen a bit redundant. However, the graphics are very nice, the resolution is very good, the touch response is very good, and I had this car over Halloween, so when I turned the car on, it had lots of cool Halloween graphics, and this screen was full of pumpkins and ghosts, and it's a gimmick, to be very honest, but it's a very cool gimmick, and it's something I really appreciate. Things like this, little bit here and there, really uplift the whole ambience and the experience of owning the car. You have another secondary screen here for the digital cluster, so obviously you can toggle through the different dials. You can have the whole map, you can have the sport dials, you can have the classic. I usually keep it in classic because I like the way they look. I like to see it's not analog, it's digital, but the analog look of the tachometer, the speedometer. You have the optional heads-up display as well, which again is customizable as well. You do have the 3-spoke steering, which is again, it's just typical Mercedes, where you have the sliders for the volumes, for the control, for the cruise control, which I'm not a big fan of, because especially if you have oily hands or you've been eating something by any chance in the car, changing the volume on your car becomes increasingly difficult. And trust me, I know this, I've learned this the hard way. This is also the MBUX unit, so either you can see your odometer, you can see your trip meter, or you can change your song, and you can't do that all at once. So if you want to change your song, you have to slide through the menu, reach the track, and then change it, which is it's very inconvenient, and that's something I'm not a big fan on any Mercedes, but hey, it is what it is. The dashboard vents has been altered as well to accommodate the big screen, and I really like the aluminium vents. They look really good, they feel very premium, and it's very easy to direct the airflow as well. Tons of leather as well, so you do have leather on the dash, on the center armrest, through the door, and this whole combination of the blue exterior and the tan interior is actually spot on. Honestly, if I were to buy this car, this might actually be the spec I actually buy it in, because I am a sucker for tan interior, and pair it with the blue exterior, I think it's a combination that works really, really well. The 3-spoke steering with the aluminum paddle shifters feels really well. You do have a huge roof. It is a sunroof, so it does open, lends in a lot of light, feels very, very premium. You do have a center storage option as well, so if you can open it, 2 cup holders and a wireless charger, which is again very, very cool. You do have these door handles which look like they're floating, but they're not actually floating, but it's made of pure aluminum, which again feels very, very premium. The touch button feels very nice. The seat control, just like every Mercedes for the last I don't know how many years, is on the doors, so it feels very good. Cool seats, heated seats, and massage seats as well, so that's a very good bonus. Overall, it feels very, very premium. The seats are very nice. You've got host of adjustments for height and moving front and back, lumbar support, everything. The lumbar support, however, is through the screen, which again is a bit annoying, but you don't do that every day, so that's fine. But yeah, overall it feels very, very nice, very, very premium, very cool, and very worthy of the price tag this car is sold at. Also, this car has a camera, which means you can either activate it and take selfies with your family, which I don't know who does, but you can also program the car and install video conferencing apps like Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and you can actually take maybe your work meetings on the drive, which is again a very useful bonus, and it's something that the world apparently needs in these days with people working from anywhere. So this is literally working from anywhere, and I think it's a cool gimmick to have. And overall, I would say that the interior feels very, very good. pair it with the amazing Burmeister audio, and the whole experience while you're sitting and driving is top notch. I'm now in the rear seats of the E450, and it's actually not too bad in the back here. Legroom is really not an issue. This driving seat is for my driving position. As you can see, knee room is really not an issue because they also have carved out the back of the seat to accommodate more knee room. Lots of space to tuck in my feet under the seat as well. So space is really not an issue. Headroom is also not that bad. I think taller passengers are also very much welcome in here. You also have a glass on the back which also tilts open when you open the front sunroof, which is a very cool feature to allow the ventilation in the car for the rear seats as well. You do have manual blinds. Not a fan of them. I wish they were electrically controlled at this price point. The blind for the rear windshield is electrically controlled from the driver, but I wish that even this was electrically controlled at this price point. Overall fit and finish is really nice. The doorknobs, again, the same sort of floating idea for the window controls, feels very good. The Burmeister's audio cutout feels very good. But other than that, it's kind of Spartan in here. There are no screens over here, so no controls to even control the temperature or the fan speed for the people behind. You do have sort of a storage. Maybe you can put some keys. Maybe if you have a smaller phone, you can put up on that. But that's about it. You do have two Type-C ports. But yeah, that's really it. No screens, no nothing, no fancy gadgetry. And that's shocking for a car of this price point. I know I've been saying a car for this price point, but I was mentioning good things in the front because it does feel worth it. But in the back, it's almost as if they forgot. I don't know if it's options that you can tick for stuff in the back, but it feels very, very Spartan. You only have two AC vents, and that's really it. Even the center hump is very tall, so I'm not sure if the third passenger would be that welcome. They do have a headrest, but this hump is so tall that it might be a bit uncomfortable for them. However, if you don't have a third passenger, you can also open this up, so you do have a nice armrest for the two passengers. And if you open this, it opens only in one stage for the first time, which you can maybe slide your phone in. But if you open it again, you do get cup holders, and I think that's also a bit too finicky. It's been overcomplicated. Most cars have this feature, but it's way more simpler, way more easy to manage. I feel like this has been overcomplicated, and overall I'd say that space-wise the E-Class is good, but gadgets and all that stuff that a car of this price point deserves just isn't there. I'm not sure if it's an option that can be ticked, but again, if you tick those options, it's just going to push the price of the car into a different level. And I feel like some of these things should be standard at this price point. Come on, Mercedes, you are charging good money. You have to make the rear of the E-Class much more tech laden. I'm now behind the wheel of the 2025 Mercedes Benz E450, so let's get the numbers out of the way. This has a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6 paired with a mild hybrid motor. Combined produces about 380 horsepower, is 4Matic, and is paired to the 9-speed automatic as well, which is now a standard affair in most automatics. So if you put into drive and we set off, and you instantly notice that low end torque is actually really good, and you really never have to floor this car in any capacity to get to any speed limit you want, be it on highways or on city limits. It just is so nice. And I'm on a patchy surface of road right now, which means it is riddled with the odd pothole here and there, but nothing really filters onto your back. The combination of the suspension and the seats, you really don't feel anything at all. It just is so composed, so quiet. It's actually an amazing experience to just glide in this car. It's so easy, so comfortable. I just went over a bump, but you don't feel anything. Especially I'm in comfort mode, and there are drive modes. So there is eco, comfort and sport, but I'm in comfort mode. I've been using this car mostly in comfort mode, and it's so good. And that doesn't mean that this car is slow by any chance, because it is pretty fast and the numbers don't lie. This thing can still do 0 to 100 in under 5 seconds, which is, let's just say, that's pretty rapid for today's standards. And if I do put it into sport, like I did now, and if I floor it and it drops a gear or two, and it just, wow, and it just goes, it just wants to jump. It's so eager. It's so ready to just go through the gears. All the torque is there. It's actually very nice. It's so fun. Honestly, what can I say? I've been driving this for the week, and it's been a very satisfying drive. I put it back into comfort and just cruise. The steering is extremely light. You can navigate through traffic in downtown, or even though the highways, it weighs up just the right amount. You have the adaptive cruise, which is an option, but it has adaptive cruise, and you can cruise comfortably on the highways. The seats is very good. You can activate the massage, and just drive it like how a Mercedes is supposed to be driven, which is in a very calm and collected way, which it's, I get it, you know, Mercedes cars are not meant to be sporty, but they've stuck true to that comfort ethos and made the E-Class the most comfortable version of any executive sedan on sale right now, according to me. I've not driven the latest ones, but from what I've driven, I really like this one. It's so comfortable, so laid back, and it's actually built for the Autobahn.
This question is too hard for me.
That's the MBUX interrupting me, and this has been a problem with a lot of reviewers. I don't know why it feels the need to, you know, interrupt me. Yeah, I think yes, I finally got it to be quiet. But yes, that was the MBUX, and yeah, overall it's very chilled out. I'm on a perfect piece of tarmac. It's so easy, so relaxed. The fuel economy is decent as well on the highway. You can get about 9.5, 10 liters per 100 on these. In the cities, I've been getting 11.5, 12, which is not too bad of an engine of this capacity. Again, it's just so relaxed, so comfortable, and it does everything an E-Class is supposed to do and more. Fantastic package. I mean, I get it, not everybody wants to hustle their car around. This is one of them, and you won't be disappointed if you just want to relax and have a laid back drive on your cruise. In conclusion then, the 2025 Mercedes Benz E450. Honestly, it's a great car. I think it drives really well. It's extremely stylish, it's extremely luxurious for the front passengers at least. It's got a huge boot, and it's decently efficient as well if you drive it sanely. At about $100,000 for this very car with all the options, I think this has roughly $14,000 or $15,000 worth of options. It's definitely on the pricey side. I mean, if you ask an E-Class owner from many years ago how much their car would be, and I'm sure it would be nowhere near the 100,000 mark. So to see an E-Class near the 100,000 mark, it's definitely raised an eyebrow or two. But I feel like in the current scenario in the market, many cars are priced at what they shouldn't be due to several factors like increase in cost of materials, all that stuff. But still, 100,000, and there are still a few things that I feel are lacking in a car of this price, and those things should be standard, like as I mentioned, the rear seat entertainment. Even just a basic 4-zone or 5-zone HVAC control should be standard in a car of this thing. It shouldn't be an option which you should take, because that's going to then push it above the 100,000 mark, which then means you would have to pay additional luxury tax on an E-Class, and it's not even an AMG, so it's a regular 6-cylinder regular commuter version. That's a bit too much, honestly. But price aside, I think it's a great car, and it makes the E-Class that much more relevant and much more appealing to the younger crowd.